Real quick, my friends, before we get this video started, a couple quick announcements. First one being Renchworks giveaway number 19 winner phone call. If you don't follow us on any other social media, Instagram, TikTok, any of those, Facebook, we already announced the winner, but the winner phone call for Renchworks giveaway number 19, Kyler Smith from Billings, Montana, is at the end of this video. So if you want to see that interaction, our first phone call, of course, you guys will see him pick up his new truck here very, very soon, but official winner announcement for Renchworks giveaway number 19 is at the end of this video. Last but not least, Renchworks giveaway number 20, if you haven't already heard, is going on right now. A dream wheel and tire setup for one of you guys. We are actually down to 6 days left. We only ran this a very, very short amount of time, but one of you guys is going home with a dream wheel and tire setup of your choosing, any JTX wheel, any tire selection, and it's going to be specifically tailored to you. You can pick anything you want. We're going to pick it out together. Or if you already have wheels that you absolutely love, you get to pick $7,000 in cash instead. So make sure you guys go to Renchworks.com. Any dollar that you spend on the website automatically gets you entered into any wheel and tire selection that you want. But it does end in about 6 days from the time that you're seeing this. So next week coming up very, very soon. So make sure you guys go get entered in that. Let's get this video going. What's going on, my friends? Welcome back to another video. We are jumping back on the single cab Tradesman to Laramie Longhorn interior swap in this video. In the last video, you kind of saw us tear our donor interior apart, kind of get started, but we kind of left off needing some harness stuff. Now, this truck is probably the most detailed and extensive Tradesman to Laramie swap that I have ever done. We've done seats, we've done interior stuff, but a lot of some of the function side of everything is a lot more detailed in this truck, and we're going to kind of get into that in this video. So let's go over some parts and pieces that we have and kind of where we're at with the truck inside and out. This bundle of harness stuff right here is from MKS Performance and Off-Road. He got us set up with some of the essentials of what we're going to need, and again, what we're after on this truck specifically. And again, it is a single cab, so it's a little bit different. There are some things in a quad cab that this truck just will not have, as far as like rear seats, all those functions, stuff like that. But in this truck, we are going full Laramie as much as you possibly can. So this harness right here, this is for the front door panels, which I will show you guys, but that actually takes care of our ambient door lighting. Again, stuff that wouldn't come in a Tradesman. This package right here, this is actually for factory bed lighting. This is kind of an additional add-on harness to a factory bed lighting, and we'll kind of like get into that a little bit. This harness right here, this is for, and this is a big one, when we do the seat stuff, everybody always asks about heated and cooled, and also the memory portion of the power seats. This harness right here from MKS, that is going to take care of not only power functions for all the motors. That's honestly the easy part. That's just the power and ground. The heated and cooled part of the seats and also the memory stuff is where a lot of all of these additional pin-ins kind of come into play. So definitely a little bit of a job doing that. This is for our factory camera equipped third brake light. That again, none of these wires are in the Tradesman. We're gonna have to pin all of these in. This is just a little jumper radio harness. And also he does make water and fuel cooler sensor kind of plugs for the back if you're running a FASS or an AirDog. So there's a little dummy plug there. This right here, if you want to run bed lighting in a truck that doesn't have it, you can actually get the kit right from Mopar. This is kind of like an additional system that adds lights to the front of the bed. But you need to go ahead and get this kit, and the part number is right here, for a factory bed lighting kit. This will give you the lights in the back, the switch. Again, I want all of the functions of a newer Laramie truck in this single cab. Right here, all of this stuff for the 8.4 swap, which we're gonna be doing. This stuff is all from infotainment. We got a new bezel. It actually switches some of the HVAC stuff from a 4-speed to a 7-speed. I'm not exactly sure why that needs to happen, but there's something to do with the way things communicate that also needs to be done at the same time. That somehow coordinates with the 8.4, I believe. So they give you this whole kit for the install. In the last video, we were messing with the door panels, and sadly, I will report that we are still messing with the door panels on this, but we do have this section glued into the single cab door panel. We're going to go ahead and get this section in. You kind of have to do the gluing and re-plastic welding of this in multiple different sections and kind of like wait for it to dry, then do the rest. Otherwise, you're trying to like fit too many things at one time. Let me pop this up so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about here. All along here, we went ahead and re-plastic welded all of that stuff in. And I will say that when you grab this, and again, it's actually not as light as you would think, but it is actually fitting together extremely, extremely well. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of get this section in next, kind of just like that. Get some tape and some clamps on that, glue that, and then our ambient door lighting, which comes in the Laramie trucks. We went ahead and re-drilled all of our holes, and the MKS harness will also integrate inside the door panel. Sorry, I'm sniffing a little bit. Under the weather just a little bit, but we're powering through. So your ambient door lighting harness needs to kind of come through here. Big news is that our man Cody from Super Stick Transmissions, he actually came out and helped us fit in this shifter for a center console G56, which I am extremely excited to show you guys. This is just kind of like propped in here. We still have some fit and finish work to do, but he actually makes this short throw shifter kit. And again, a little different because every center console is a little bit different. So we've got our center console lid, and you can see in here, your shifter stick there would normally be up here. And we've got an attachment point down there to your factory piece and this linkage, and then I'll show you guys, but this actually kind of sandwiches right around your factory part of your cab support here. Full Longhorn center console going in. We'll go ahead and take that out because we got to do some welding and stuff like that. We still need to run all of these harnesses that I showed you guys, and that is what we're kind of working on next. We're trying to get the harnesses run everywhere that we need to, especially the seat ones, before we put the carpet back in, before we put all of our interior paneling back in. Again, full tradesman to Laramie. I want the heated steering wheel to work. Now, it's kind of a little bit unknown, but in order to have a heated steering wheel, you actually need to change out your clock spring. So this clock spring is actually out of the donor truck, which we'll get into as well, but we're going to go ahead and put that in. But your heated steering wheel function, you're not going to be able to do just by swapping a heated steering wheel on. You can get the electronic functions to work on the steering wheel, but if you want the heated section of it to work, you got to change the clock spring. So there is a lot more detail involved with getting every single little function to work. We're going to go ahead and get that section glued in, and then we can get to running some of these harnesses. Got this second section of this door panel all bonded on here. That is good to go. All that's left is our lighting strip here. If you're wondering, this is the JB plastic bonder that we're using. This one seemed to kind of fit what we're doing the best. I did use a different section on here, but went ahead and got this stuff instead. I think it'll do a little bit better. And as you can see, I went ahead and drilled all the necessary holes to kind of put this bad boy on here. You got to get creative with trying to like put some pressure on the back side of these things when you're filling it up. Sticking with just wrapping up the door panel work, went ahead and decided to grab the ambient lighting harnesses from MKS. I want to just show you guys real quick. He does really good work. Everything would be, I would consider OEM, if not better. All the pins are really nice. All of the locations are labeled on all of the harnesses. The nice thing on, I think, what at least 4th gen is, all the pin locations are actually numbered. We're not going to be able to see on this camera, but this is a 10 pin, and they are actually like 1 through 5 is labeled here, 6 through 10 on the other side. So it's really easy to kind of like locate pin locations, but this is as factory as possible option to add all this stuff. So everything's already pre-pinned. It's going to go into factory connectors, and that's the way all the stuff from MKS is. He gives you instructions on how to do everything. Again, these harnesses, real easy. Some of the other ones are a little bit more difficult. Decided just to jump on these easy ones, but everything pins really nicely, and we can go ahead and mount these in factory locations, and the door panels will be done. We're also going to wire in the rest of our boost auto lights, which goes right here, and that's got to run through this door panel. So, you know, just turns out we're working on door panels first, but that should wrap up the door panels. Then we can move inside the cab. Play a little catch up on what we've gotten done on the single cab. The wiring is definitely taken a little bit, but let's go over what we've gotten done thus far. Door panels are officially completely done. I am very pleased with how this turned out. So again, quick recap. Here's your standard door panel and what we've dissected out of it. Here is everything transferred over on the single cab door panel, which is obviously much bigger here. Got all 3 of our sections and our door lighting section all glued in. I am happy not only with the fit, the finish, also the strength that I think, again, when you're pulling the door shut, you want to make sure that that stuff is firmly secured. So very pleased with that process. That is completely done on both sides, so we can move on from that. We have gotten some decent amount of wiring done inside the truck. We have got our 3rd brake light camera harness run through here. This harness runs alongside here, down here, and also needs to get pinned into this connector. Now, the interesting part is most of the time, wiring is not going to be on the other side of this connector to go to the radio, so we have this other jumper harness from this green connector all the way into your main plug here on your 8.4 screen. So you have connection from all the way from the screen to the plug all the way to the camera. So those are the locations that needs to get pinned into. You also will need this part number right here for this harness, because this is a little jumper harness. You need this end, which is actually the camera right down here. This plugs into the MKS harness. So just forgot to mention that as well. You also will need this little, it's actually a tailgate jumper harness for this camera to go to his harness. So we have that harness in now, and we can pretty much wrap up the outside of the cab and put that back in. We have got our new clock spring installed, well, brand used. Big thing with the clock springs is you need to make sure that this doesn't spin, because if that spins and it loses track of center, that's why it's kind of like taped up. And when I took this off, you can kind of see like, need to make sure that this doesn't move and spin around or get damaged, because you'll basically lose the center. So we made sure that that's completely done. Hopefully this works out swapping that over for us, but that is completely done. Shifter stuff is completely done. You guys can see the mechanism from your factory shift tower down here. This new rod, we've got it all adjusted, and we went ahead and pre-bent the main shifter rod here, got that all pre-bent up, so when we put our panel back on, it is completely centered. So those are the kind of bends that we needed to do. We got that all welded up, got this all bent, got everything fastened, and we are looking really, really good. We left it's kind of funny. It looks a little tall, but when you rest your arm on your armrest here, you do want a little bit of leverage, and we're going to use this weighted shift knob here to kind of like hopefully, you know, have that feel really, really good. We'll have to get back to you on feedback of like how everything feels, but just moving it around just inside there, everything feels really, really good. So super pumped on that. This truck already has a B&M short throw shift tower, so the throw on this shifter is very short. Kind of paired with this, it's super, super short. So we'll see how that works out. Sometimes the short notchy stuff doesn't feel super good, but we will test that out and see. But I'm super excited how it looks with the center console in there. That's sitting over there. Let me actually hold on, please. Another cool thing is the fact that this will have cup holders right here. So there you go. You can kind of see right there. Everything kind of looks centered. And we'll have to go ahead and figure out basically trimming this out. We might get some billet pieces made or something like that. Put a small little boot right there. Thought about maybe doing something with like, you know, like a trim ring like that or something like that. We'll have to see. We need to kind of see exactly, once everything's tightened up, how far the throw is. But I mean, that is your forward gear. So it's not a lot of movement at all. Can't really do it without any leverage on there, but you guys can get the point with just the forward shift there. So that should be really, really cool. All the wiring in the door panels are mostly done. We've got our ambient door harnesses put in, got our boost auto wires run in there. For those of you wondering about the seat harness for your heated seats, your vented seats, and this bed lighting kit, just word to the wise, it is definitely a couple notches up on, I wouldn't say difficulty. I would just, if you're comfortable with pinning connectors, but it is more time consuming. And I really want to get the rest of the interior put back in, but having the complete interior out of this thing is going to make running all this wiring a lot easier. So I'm going to kind of withhold that and just run these harnesses while everything is completely out, seeing, and especially the fender liners out, some of that stuff's missing. So perfect time to kind of do all of that. The infotainment 8.4 stuff is also done. Like I mentioned, we've got our new HVAC module right here. We went ahead and put our new blower motor resistor, which is basically right up under here. We've got all of their harnesses done. You also have to unpin a connector right here for that stuff. I'm gonna try to hide all of this stuff up in here. It's kind of why it looks a little untidy at the moment. All of those harnesses are run over here, and we've got that stuff connected in as well for the new HVAC and 8.4 stuff. So that's pretty much done and wrapped up. We'll zip tie up all that stuff nice. I'm gonna wait till all of the wiring is in the truck before I zip tie it up. That's gonna be the last thing I do. But here is the other boost auto wire that needs to run across the dash. This door is completely done. But again, I'm not going to put the door panels on it, because why would I do that when I'm going to have to put seats in and out? So a lot of back and forth on the wiring, but it is coming together, and we are going to jump on those two bigger harnesses and see what kind of trouble we can get into. But that's where we're at. Just time consuming, but the shifter is so sick. We're getting close. We're getting close to this being a very, very unique interior. Very excited about it. friends, let's jump right into it because we've got some interesting news and we've got some good news and we've got some bad news, and we're going to get to all of it. The most interesting discovery in the last clip I believe you saw was me trying to basically lay out our heated and cooled seat harness and get that all tied in. Well, I started looking at everything and the first thing I noticed, I was like, man, I've already got this gray plug sitting here for whatever reason. And again, this is a Tradesman single cab truck. Now, this gray plug sitting here already had a very similar look to it with the additional harness from MKS. So I started digging a little bit deeper and I'm like, man, those gray plugs actually look like they have the exact same pins in them. Ran over to the other side of the yellow plug that's sitting over there. I'm like, all these pins that I'm trying to pin in are already in this harness. So I got on the phone with my man from MKS, and I was like, hey, like, I don't know what's going on here. He's like, I think your truck already has, for whatever reason, has the populated harness in this truck for the heated and cooled and power seats. Most Tradesman trucks only come with the yellow plug on the driver's side. So I started looking at everything, and lo and behold, I started running all the wires, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm doing double work here. This truck already has everything that is needed for those seats sitting over there. I have no idea why. It doesn't make any sense. And if I can try to explain one thing, if you are ever going to jump into any of this trim level swapping or factory wiring in Ram trucks, definitely 4th gens, is that it is so all over the place, it makes absolutely zero sense. Some trucks will have pins populated, some trucks will not. You can go either way on that, but every truck that I've ever done has been different. This truck has honestly had me pulling out my hair, especially with the seat harness thing, but overall, very positive thing. I don't need to run all that, and I don't need the harness. Most guys, even some with SLT trucks, will need that seat harness. You will need to basically run all of that stuff, and I can show you guys real quick where it's going to plug in. Your CAN bus right here, this little bus bar, you're going to have a connection there, a few different connections that are going to go one up to this main plug right here. The memory seat function is actually going to go up through here, the door, and you're going to need to go into this same connector here for the ambient lighting. And there is a few other ones. It's not as bad, but it is definitely time consuming. Glad I don't have to do that. Now, cross that off the list because we have a plug-and-play truck for heated and cooled seats. And again, this doesn't factor in some of the alpha OBD programming. I might need to turn the functions on. The truck might have the wires, but they might need to be like woken up, so to say. Let's put it that way. Now, we move on to the factory bed lighting project. And this also, the factory Mopar instructions are garbage. They are very hard to read. They're not color. But we started running the bed lighting harness, and I thought that it was going to be the easiest thing in the world to kind of tackle, and it is not. So factory bed lighting harness is you've got a ground plug up here that you need to ground. You need to undo your fuse box here. You need to take out that connector, and you need to run a pin inside this connector right here. So we went ahead and did that after we figured out that the wiring harness that they provide you isn't really long enough to route nicely. So we've been doing some harness extension to make sure things are run nicely, which just adds a ton of time. Now, this harness is for 1,500 and 2,500 trucks, but there is some differences. Now, what they want you to do, and again, if you do not have your dash out, and I've watched a couple other videos, this is your body control module. It is up underneath your dash, all the way tucked up in the firewall. It is virtually impossible to get to with the dash in. It's doable, but man, is it a pain. So they want you to run a pin into the body control module. Mine already had a pin populated there. So I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, I put the pin in underneath the fuse box. I'm like, this is going great. Okay, no big deal. I've already had to extend a bunch of wires, eat a bunch of time. And now there's a wire already in this pin location. Lo and behold, they want you to splice into that wire. And I was already on the phone with the MKS man, and we started talking about it because it had me baffled, because the instructions don't necessarily say that in order. You have to like go back to the 1500 instructions and like read that it could be for 2500s too, which I didn't read correctly. And I'm just like, this is really just starting to piss me off here, okay? Because this wiring project, you know, I was thinking we could blast right through it. The dash is going to be back in it in this video. I'll be able to put the carpet back in it. Everything is going to work, because I can't really test any of these functions because nothing is connected inside here. So I have to kind of do all of this, and, you know, fingers crossed that everything is good, and we don't need to double check anything because it's all pretty much going to be hidden when the dash goes back in it. Anyway, on the OEM bed lighting kit, so the wire that they want you to tap into, it's actually the same wire in basically your headlight switch where your cargo button light would be. That's the same wire they want you to splice into up there. And again, if you take a look up in there with this really dim light, there's no way to like make a splice nicely, because you can only actually access about this much of the wire before it goes into the main bulkhead. So I will now have to basically extend this part of the harness with the terminal pin in it. And talking with the MKS man, he wasn't sure that this wire was going to be the best one to tap into. It's kind of like, if you've ever run cab lights or anything else, it's kind of like a little less protected of a circuit to put that in the maybe the most understandable way, which again, like not me. I'm trying to give you the dumbed down version, because that's the version I understand. Now these wires right here, these are a little bit more, I guess, protected, so to say. They are white with a tan tracer. These are the same wires that run up to here for the cargo light. Those come off of the body control module as well, but those are basically a driver, I guess, module wire versus a signal wire. And again, it was all explained to me, but we are going to run the other wire to tap, and we are going to run it into down here, because this is way easier to access. It is way easier to make a nice connection, and it is much more protected with the kick panel up here, rather than trying to make a decent splice up there and mess with wires that are really, really close to the body control module. So I know that was a mouthful, and I apologize that this video has had less action than I want to be doing, and you guys, you know, potentially maybe even want to watch. But we're working through it. And, you know, if there's one thing that I can forewarn you guys, is that if you're getting into a wiring project or an electrical project, sometimes it's really just not as cut and dry. I'm a very like bolt on, bolt off. I want to like remove things, put things on. Not that I don't want to diagnose, but the technical side of things takes a lot of time. And sometimes when you get defeated a little bit like this, you really feel like you're just not making a whole lot of forward progress. And that's difficult for me to get past and do, but we are making headway. Unfortunately, we're pretty much out of time in the time that more time than I allotted for this project currently. You guys will see the next upcoming video was planned. I need to do it this time, and it will make more sense with what's coming up. But that is pretty much, unfortunately, going to wrap up this video. We are going to tidy up all of this nonsense and run our boost auto wires. Like, I'm gonna get all of the nonsense done. That way, in the next video, we are gonna have the most beautiful Laramie Longhorn interior that you have ever seen in a single cab, and it's gonna work, it's gonna function, and we're gonna breeze right through all of the tedious part of all this. But hey, look at this. We have got some single cab door panels that, in my opinion, are just absolutely beautiful. So, trying to stay positive on this project in this current state right now. Guys, we're gonna get this truck ready. It's gonna be beautiful. Come check it out. It's gonna be at UCC for sure, whether it kills me or not. But that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. Make sure you guys enter in Wrenchworks giveaway number 20, which is a dream wheel and tire giveaway. These wheels, if you're into 17s or 18s, it doesn't matter. JTX makes wheels for anything and everything in any size. I'm gonna let you pick any tires that you want. I don't want you guys stuck with, you know, a specific kind of tire. If you guys want like 17s and BF Goodrich's or anything, side by side, 6 lug, for it doesn't matter for what it is. Or you can pick the $7,000, which is amazing as well. So make sure you guys get entered. Every dollar that you spend on wrenchworks.com automatically gets you entered. We're closing in on pretty much like a week or less for that. And I'm telling you guys, we're not doing like a ton of advertising on this specific giveaway. So the chances of somebody taking this thing home is way better than a lot of other ones that we run. So make sure you guys get entered. Don't look at these, they're too dirty. Take a look at these, polished black, it doesn't matter. Dually wheels, doesn't matter. Anyway, guys, we'll appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next video very, very soon. See ya. What's going on, guys? Greg from Wrenchworks here, coming at you with our official winner announcement for Wrenchworks giveaway number 19, our 2017 Granite Crystal G56 Cummins plus the 10 grand. Our sweepstakes company has us an official winner. We're gonna let you guys know, but before that, huge thank you, huge shout out to you guys. Appreciate you guys a ton for getting entered in all of our giveaways. Last but not least, Wrenchworks giveaway number 20 is actually live right now. We're doing a dream wheel and tire setup. Any JTX wheel tire setup you want, we're gonna set you guys up of your choosing for whatever you have. But official winner, let's get into it. Wrenchworks giveaway number 19, official winner from Billings, Montana, Kyler Smith. So huge congratulations to Kyler Smith. We're gonna give him a FaceTime call, give him the good news today, and let him know that he is the official winner for Wrenchworks giveaway number 19. Hey Kyler, it's Greg from Wrenchworks. How's it going, buddy?
Good, you?
Do you remember entering in Wrenchworks giveaway number 19?
Yeah.
You are the official winner of Wrenchworks giveaway number 19, buddy.
I just want to pick up.
You definitely just want to pick up plus 10 grand, buddy.
What?
That's your new truck.
Oh, sweet.
You're from Montana, right?
Yeah, Billings.
Yep, Billings, Montana. Brother, that is your new truck, man.
Holy shit, I never thought this would happen.
Yeah, let me flip this around. Let me show it to you. You got a sweatshirt, right?
Got the...
You got it right there.
Yeah, I just wore it today, too.
Heck yeah. Well, it paid off, man. That is officially your new truck right there.
Holy shit. I don't know. Kind of shaking right now. I never thought this would happen.
It's real, buddy. That's why I want to FaceTime you, give you the official news in person. That way you see my face, you see the truck. Because that is officially yours.
Yeah, I seen it calling. I was like, FaceTime, like, it's in a scam call. I was like, New Jersey. I was like, oh shit, that's where you guys are from. You gotta answer.
Good deal, man. Well,
holy shit.
We're recording right now for all the videos. I will give you a call back, but just wanted to give you the official news on FaceTime, and we'll work out the details and get you out here to pick up your new truck, buddy.
All right, thank you.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon. Congratulations.
Thank you again.
Yep, you got it.
You have a good day.
You too. Kyler Smith, Billings, Montana, official winner of Wrenchworks giveaway number 19. So again, as always, you guys will see Kyler come out here, pick up his new truck, and drive away into the sunset in his new 6-speed Cummins. So again, appreciate you guys. As always, make sure you guys get entered in the Dream Wheel and Tire Setup giveaway. Can't wait to set you guys up with a setup just like we put on all the rest of our trucks here. And we'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.